Hey Siri, call Jenna.
Hey friends, ambitious souls, welcome to Sorta Ambitious, the podcast where two moms navigate the chaotic yet beautiful journey of motherhood and entrepreneurship.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Jenna.
And together we're your dynamic duo diving into the real, unfiltered tales of balancing diapers and deadlines.
Whether you're juggling nap time, creating content, swapping parenting hacks, business tips, Sorta Ambitious is your go-to space for all things mom life and entrepreneurship.
We're not claiming to have it all figured out, but we're here to share our stories, passions, and the occasional chaos that comes with running a business and a household.
Expect candid conversations about the struggles, triumphs, and the messy middle ground where ambition meets mom life.
And hey, if you're a mompreneur or someone trying to navigate this crazy world, you're in good company with us. We've got your back.
So buckle up, grab your coffee or wine, no judgment here, and join us every week as we embark on this sorta ambitious journey together. Because let's face it, life gets a bit messy, it's a lot ambitious, and completely worth it.
Hello everyone, welcome back.
To
Hope
Sorta
you guys are
Ambitious.
having a beautiful day.
It is beautiful. What is it? Is it warm over there?
It is warm. We are like hitting 80s every day.
Wow,
But it's
that's so nice.
a southern 80s, so it's muggy, but so good.
It's actually supposed to be not that nice. Tomorrow, it's 59 right now, which feels really good because it's been pretty cold. But I think tomorrow it's only supposed to be like 63 and like kind of cold in the evening.
I'm excited. I'm
Concerts
so excited for summer. I
outside.
cannot wait.
So I'm so excited for summer. I'm so excited. I
Ooh.
feel like I'm excited for July. How many days do we have? 24? No, that's not right.
Same. I'm so excited for the summer.
It's the only thing I'm counting down, and I
Well, I
still
would
have
love
to start.
to hear how your week went. What your...
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry.
This week was good. I feel like this was a good week. I've been really stressed with work, not with work, but going to work. Like, it has just been really hard to like get up and go to work when I feel like we're like in a month. We've been going for about a month and a half now, almost 2 months, month and 3 weeks, and Cohen loves it. It's hard for me to balance all of it. Like, he's enjoying seeing his friends, and he asks about that, and I'm thankful that he enjoys it. It's just hard for me to prepare for like the whole day. Even though it's only a few hours of the day, it feels like I have to prepare breakfast and I have to prepare lunch and I have to like make sure he has all the things to keep him entertained when I'm at working the beginning and the end of my shift, because the middle he's covered, you know. But it's just a lot, I feel like, for me. And this last week I worked the 3 days that I like said I would in the beginning, and it feel like the week went so much smoother. Like, I was able to function on 3 days versus like 4, 5, 6 days, which next week I am at 6 days. So I'm gonna breathe through it and like it's gonna be okay. But this last week went really good, and we got like my 2 days off, and it was so sunny, and we spent all day outside, and like he was exhausted, absolutely exhausted from that. I think he was definitely overstimulated from like me trying to make up time, like make up that we haven't been to the park a ton and that we haven't been outside a lot. And I was like, let's just go, let's do it all. But like that made my mom heart really happy. So I feel like if I had a mom heart, it's just like had the week that I want in my head.
Right. It feels so good when it all comes together, and it's not miserable to get it all done.
Yeah, and the chaos feels good with somebody, you know. So like all of that was running smoothly, like with friends and meeting up and going to do things. Like, it was just flowing the way that I would hope it would flow. And so how was your week?
My week was really good. I wanted to say, I just want to touch on my Mother's Day, because that was without a doubt my mom high.
How did we miss Mother's Day? Talk about
my Mother's Day was so amazing. My husband planned this whole day for us up in Fayetteville, Arkansas, which is like an hour and a half away from us, but it's kind of, they call it Northwest Arkansas, and it reminds me a lot of the Pacific Northwest, just with vibes and like what they do up there. And so
And
he just told me to be ready by 9 a.m. and we hopped in the car and we went to a Mother's Day brunch with a nice bottle of champagne for mimosas and super delicious food and all these games for our son to play outside. And it was just such a fun start to the day. And then we went to a strawberry festival, which was essentially just
cool.
a play zone with a strawberry field next to it because there was like a bouncy house and a zip line and tractor rides. And I can't even think of all the stuff that was there. And we got to have like frozen lemonades and he got to do this candy hunt. I don't know, he shot candy out of a Camden. And it was just so much fun. I was exhausted, but it was exactly what I wanted because I think we mentioned this in an earlier podcast. I just wanted to be like spoiled and I wanted the day to be all about me, and my husband knocked it out of the park and it was so much fun. And I just have to say thank you to him and my little sweet son. And it was my mom high of the month, but without a doubt, my
Yay!
mom
Oh
high of
my
the week
gosh,
too.
that's so
How
fun.
was your Mother's Day?
It was I kind of forgot it just happened because I feel like it was so long ago, but it wasn't. Um, it was good. I ran a 10K, which was, apparently I'm a runner, you guys. I don't know. And I said yes back in December, and I was a little like nervous with it coming up because I just like did not prepare. Um, but I was like, you know what? I can do it. I've run head to coast twice, and that's a lot more running in 48 hours than this is going to be. And like mentally, I know I can do it if I just tell myself I can do it. And so it was in Portland. We traveled over, and the park that we ran through was called Shampooey, not spelled how you think at all. Spelled like Shampoo Park. Called Shampooey Park. Right on, like, runs on the river, and it was beautiful, like such a pretty run, but the pollen was insane. And like Shannon knows I don't have allergies. I've definitely said it on podcasts before. Like I feel terrible for my husband because his are so bad. So he was struggling just being there. And after my run, I fully went downhill. Like this sound in my voice is for sure from having like an allergy attack, I think. And like I've just had phlegm in my throat. I've had itchy throat, itchy eyes for like several days, and I was like, what is going on? But I didn't put like two and two together until about a day ago. And so, because I didn't like get sick, I didn't have like a fever, and that's kind of what I thought was happening because my son has had a little bit of a fever, but now I almost feel like he's been fighting allergies and a fever. So, anyways, Mother's Day was really good because I slept, just rested.
You got to recover.
I recovered from a 10K, and I did it in like under an hour and a half, and so that felt really good. Like to just know that I could run that long and really train that much. So, yeah,
You're
it was
just
good.
adding medals to your
Just add
roster, which is
medals.
so cool.
I know. I did literally yesterday have to say no to Hood to Coast, Shannon, and I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry. I did cry. I called my mom and I cried about it for about an hour. I was like, I just really want to do it, and I'm so sad. But it's the same weekend as a wedding that we're going to, and like
Oh,
it's a very special time, and we said yes, and they're using our camera, and I've known Alicia since she was 5. Yeah, was her wedding.
yeah.
And so
Oh,
I know Lily sent us the dates. Here's the dates, here's the price, and I'm like, yes, I'm so excited. I like go to put it on my calendar, and I'm like,
no.
and I like panicked. I was like, I'm gonna miss out, and we're finally like on the same team. Like Lily and I've been trying to run it together for so long, and like we've always just been on a different team. Like me, 2 years, but this will be her 4th year, and I
Dang
I'm like,
it.
dang it. And she's like, Jenna, it's gonna be fine. I was like, Lily, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I just was like, I was really upset about it. So, yeah. The goal that I didn't realize I had was that I want to run Hood to Coast every year.
I was gonna
This
say,
year.
good thing it happens every year because now
I
it can just
know.
be the thing that you do.
I know. So Mother's Day was good. Like I said, Mother's Day was good. I got to rest, relax, feel like I recovered a little from whatever is happening in my throat. Um, But yeah, I'm glad you had a good Mother's Day too. And we got to chat a little
Yeah,
before. I got to see your face like 3 times, which was so nice.
I know. How lucky are we?
I don't know. Do we have like, gosh, how do we want to talk about our business stuff right now? Because Shannon and I are at a halt, you guys. We're at
Heavy
a
haul.
point that feels hard. So do you want to share where you're kind of at, Shannon, and then I'll talk about whatever the heck I'm doing over here.
I was gonna say, I feel like this sounds probably very similar to what I've said for the last like 6 podcasts, because to the point I'm at right now is essentially all of the programs I was using on either a trial basis or like a free basis, I have now run out of my trial basis. And so I'm to the point where I would need to start purchasing basically pages and licensing and all that stuff to continue on. But where my imposter syndrome, or where I'm stopping myself, is I don't feel like I have the content, the amount of content I would like in order to start purchasing it and putting something out, because I feel like I have step 1. I don't even love my step 1 yet, but I feel like I don't even have step 2, 3, 4, or 5 that would make it to where I would have a system for someone to follow, or like a plan for someone to fall into. And a lot of people hearing that or whatever are probably thinking that part doesn't matter. But I guess for my own self, like what I want to offer to people, I don't want to just like throw something at someone and leave them swimming in a confusing sea with nothing around them. I want to be able to offer someone steps that walks them through their fitness journey. And so it feels like I'd be doing a disservice, which is hard for me to get behind. I don't want to just put something out there and have no end goal or no step 2.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. And
okay.
it's a hard pill to swallow, especially when we get on the podcast and talk about it. But the other part that I'm struggling with is my brain is not going there at any other point throughout my day. I'm having like other things that I'm feeling more motivated about or like doing, which isn't where I was a couple months ago. I was constantly thinking about it a couple months ago and like constantly wanting to work on it. And right now I'm like, it's just not where my energy wants to be.
Yeah.
And I guess that's also a big halt for me, is my brain is just not thinking about it. So I don't have that motivation to sit down and work on it like I did.
Yeah. Opposite over here. My brain thinks about it constantly because I am paying for stuff and nothing's happening yet. But I want to pause before and ask about what you are excited about, because I know that you had your first training, and if you've listened to podcasts before and you heard about this, Shannon put together like a camp with her husband for his football players, and the first day was today. So do you want to share how it went, Shannon?
The first day was today.
The first
I
day
am
was
excited
today.
about that. It went so well. We had about like 15 football players that I got to take them through. My husband is a football coach, as I mentioned, but they also work with strength and conditioning coaches, which is really part of the course for, you know, any collegiate team. And so my husband and the strength and conditioning coach are kind of like working together through this. And so I just feel like I'm definitely the third man that's just is kind of like there. And so my husband was like, just go for it. And I was like, okay. And I just started doing it. And all the football players are so sweet and so nice. And they just like jumped right into it. And I think they responded really well. And I'm hopeful that next coming weeks, like it's productive for them. But I also was really excited because after I ran the session today, then the cross country and track coach came up to me and was like, you need to be doing this. Oh, we need a here. I don't know why there was balloons.
Happy birthday, balloons. Lily's birthday's today. Happy birthday, Lily. Those were for you.
Happy birthday, Lily. The track coach, or he's more of a cross country coach, but he was like, I need you to be doing this with my athletes. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I instantly got overwhelmed and I was like, oh, I am not like, I do not have a program like this. But at the same time, he was like, think about it. Don't say no. You should do it. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a football team and a track team. Like, that was crazy. But also, I'm like jittery because it's so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds so
I feel like
fun.
I know that I feel like you say you're overwhelmed about it, but I feel like in a month or two, you're gonna be like, okay, so now I have a track team and I have a football team, and I'm also super mom, and I figured out all my stuff for digital marketing, and Khalil's doing great with his homeschool, and
I was
it's
gonna
just
say, I'm
gonna,
also starting to homeschool Khalil, which sounds probably a lot more than what reality will be, but like at the same time, I don't want to overcommit myself to anyone. And I also have a job that I'm like, I do have to clock on for that. I can't just like let that go. But
it's gonna
all
be great
really
though.
exciting. I'm so
Mm-hmm.
excited to start Khalil's homeschool. Like we went to the library today, we picked up all his books for his week 1. So that stuff is, I guess, where my brain is constantly going versus my digital stuff, because I think it's tangibly right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I may or may not have ADHD, and so I'm realizing my brain is just like, work on what's in front of you and work on what's exciting you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And also what I can like squeeze in my day. Like right now we're recording, but and my son's supposed to be doing quiet time, but like he could walk in at any moment and then our stuff has to shut down, right?
You
And
guys,
so
we've only been
that's
talking
what
for
it is
15
for
minutes
everything
and it
we're working
feels
on.
insane. We're like, do you have 5 seconds to chat about nothing but everything all at one time? I
It just
love it.
constantly feels like in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I got so much stuff going on, and like he could walk in at any moment and I just have to like redirect my focus to him. And last thing I'll say is anytime you pull out a computer with a toddler around, you know you're not working on what you plan on working on, because they all of a sudden have emails to send and like people to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I love all of that, and I'm so excited that it's finally started because I know how hard you worked on it, and I'm just excited for you and Kendrick. I love that you guys have something together.
thank you.
I'm very much looking forward to time with Kyle because we ain't got no time together. I don't know what we're doing, but we're on completely opposite schedules right now, and like I just really miss him. I feel like I'm excited for this weekend because we get a date night and Jade's gonna watch Cohen, and we're going to a concert, and Mama got a spray tan, and I'm just like ready to go have fun with him. So love that you guys have that together. Okay, my business stuff, you guys, is in a halt only because it's a timing issue for me. Like by the time I get my computer up and running and all the programs open that I need to have open and start going through the modules, my time's up to work with it. And that's been really hard for me because I am really passionate about it, and I do really want to sit down and like finish. Like I want to get my landing page up, which is the like basically the most important thing to have, because that's where you put everything. That's where you put the courses you purchase. That's where you put your digital products. That's where you put your content so that people can get to know who you are. Like I have to have that page, and I'm paying to have that page, but I don't have it ready because there's, what is this? This is my onboarding, and there's 15 steps just to onboard my site. It's going to hold all the things for me. So the site I'm using is called Captivation Hub, and I am on step 5. And I've had this for 2 months, and maybe you could just bust it out if you sat down and did it for 8 hours or whatever. But the reality is that's just not the time frame that I have to sit down and do it. So I'm just going to share kind of those steps. So Captivation Hub is the thing that I pay for. It's like my hosting site, which if you were to like click on my link that I have, it would take you essentially to like a page where this site is it's like the back end office basically. It's $97 a month. So there's that. And just to be real about it, like I'm paying $100 a month to have this site host something that I don't even have ready yet. So my like my brain is like, what the F are you doing? But I do know that it's like essential because of the research that I've already previously done and what we've kind of talked about. So I have to have it. I have to get it set up. The first step of like the onboarding of this is just to join the support groups, which is 100% the most important step. To join somewhere, whether it's the Facebook group or like understanding how to open up the chats to be able to talk to the tech support or whatever, because I'm like, hey, I'm doing this now, and then they can double check that, and like hey, this is where I'm at. And I do think that that's really helpful. So it's hard to go in there and be vulnerable with people that maybe have been doing it for a while, like on the Facebook groups and stuff. But I am trying to like be present in there and kind of see the other questions that people are asking. So technically I'm in, it's called Captivation Hub is the hosting site. My other Facebook group is for Online Profit Secrets, which is the course that I purchased. So there's that. Join your support groups. That's important. The other thing, to schedule a call with somebody, and I said that I did it, but I didn't. So mostly because I just needed to get through to the next step, which was to set up my domain, and I didn't have time to like make a phone call with somebody. So hopefully they don't come at me for that, because they're like, you said you did step 2 and you did not. But setting up your domain, you have to go to a different site to purchase a domain. So there's that whole process of like going there, putting in your business, figuring out which one works, which one doesn't. If you can get the .com, which is better than getting a .net or a .web or whatever, you want the .com. So however that configures for you, if that's the one, if you can get .com, that's the better one to have. So, but that takes time too, to go to find the sites, to find one that's, not a $20 domain, it's a $10 domain or $8 domain or whatever. And so I did that. And then you have to connect it to the site. So you have to connect the domain to your hosting site. And that has 14 steps also. So figuring out how and where to find the correct codes to put them into your hosting site so that when you open it somewhere, it doesn't crash. Jeez Louise,
Yeah.
I didn't realize I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying so hard
IT
to
person.
like I'm trying to understand so much in such a short amount of time to be like, I can do this. So anyways, and then my step 5, which I just got set up the other day, and I'm pretty sure I have both of them. I had to set up how people would purchase, which, I feel like for me, when I clicked on it to purchase it, I just clicked a button and then I purchased. But there were 500 other steps apparently that the person who I bought from had to do. And I'm just like, wow, thank you for doing that and making it easy for me. But now I'm having to set that up for my customers. And I don't own a business, you guys. I have a business degree too, actually, but I don't have a business, and I've never run a business, and I'm trying so hard to learn the back end stuff. So I had to connect Stripe, which is a payment service, and then I also had to connect PayPal, because those are the two that work the best. I had to go through and basically set up business accounts for those. I could use my personal ones, but they said eventually you would probably have to convert them to a business one anyway. So to start with a business one if you can. Sorry guys, I'm losing my voice because I'm talking a lot. But the way to set up your payments, what I was finding out, that this is why I'm stuck on this step, and I finally have the answers that I wanted. You don't have to have an LLC, but the information and things I was getting was that I had to have an LLC in order to get a business account set up. There are ways around that. There's just different settings you have to put it into, but I didn't know that. And so for days, I'm trying to figure out, like, what are these numbers that I need? I don't have one of those numbers. I don't have a, like for tax purposes, which right now doesn't matter, but later down the road will matter. And so I think just my like last tidbit is that, you guys, this is the reality of it. It is not a like one step process where you click and you all of a sudden are making millions of dollars. And again, we have said we understand that, we know that, and we're willing to put in the work. But like, that's the step I'm on, was just connecting how people can pay me, and people don't even know what they're paying me for yet, which feels crazy that I'm like having to do all these things beforehand. Makes total sense, but like you just don't think about that, especially if you have no idea what you're doing. So I'm on step
At
5,
all.
and that's where I'm at. I've connected my domain. I've purchased a domain. I've connected the domain, and I have connected my payments for nothing. No one's paying me
Wow.
anything yet. And
Congrats. That's a lot of work, though. That's so much time and meticulousness to get that all done.
yeah, and making, like I said, the codes, like putting codes in the right spot. I feel like I'm so dyslexic. I'm like, okay, this one and this one. This says this is the live and this is the secret. Okay, got it. Like that's where we're at. So I think I am proud of us for like sticking it out and like trying to share as much as we can with you guys, because we want, like, if this is something you're excited about, go for it. It's worth it. But like it's just gonna take a lot of effort. So don't be discouraged
Absolutely.
when you get to that point, because it can for sure feel like I'm doing nothing. But I know that I am doing something.
And there are often times too where you have to make that decision. I feel like maybe not in what you're specifically talking about, but it just made me think about how sometimes you have to make the decision on like cost versus convenience, because
Mm-hmm.
there's also, let's say, websites or companies or whatever that would do all this work for you or do some work for you, but you have to pay for that convenience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where a lot of people get intimidated, is like, you could pay someone, let's just throw out a number of $1,000, and that person could sit there and do all the little tasks that you were just mentioning, plus more, and
Mm-hmm.
organize and make it functional for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're paying them a price, you're paying them a premium to be able to do all that work.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes you can, go the cheaper option, which means you have to then put in the time and you have to learn the process and you have to do it step by step like
Mm-hmm.
you are. Which is, I remember when I was taking my entrepreneur course, that's where she talked a lot about, like, basically every content kind of came back to that. She was like, it's either cost or convenience here. You could pay this, and it'll get it all organized and done for you, or, set aside 3 weeks and you can do it yourself. And that's kind of, I
Yeah.
feel like, a really big
Yeah.
battle for entrepreneurs for a long time. And not even just on the digital
Mm-hmm.
space, but even like brick and mortar businesses, sometimes they're like, I want to save money and I want to do taxes by myself and not pay someone $5,000 to do it. But then as their business grows or they get deeper and deeper and deeper, they're like, makes more sense for
Never.
me to pay someone $5,000
Yeah.
because I don't have the time. I don't have the knowledge. I'm in over my head. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes you hit that wall of just being like, is it easier to do the work and possibly take the cheaper route, or is it easier to spend the dollars and know it's going to get
Yeah.
done
I think
quickly
like
and correctly?
that is what I love about this particular site, Captivation Hub, is that these steps matter. I could probably pay them
Mm-hmm.
extra to have them do this if I wanted to, but they, at the end of the day, are replacing like me having to pay for someone to create the funnels, because the funnel is created within my system. Like once
Mm-hmm.
that's set up, it's already there. I just have to like take a code and move it over, like copy paste, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're also giving me an affiliate program, which I have mentioned before, but like once I've gone through the process of getting set up with them, I now would get a percentage from anything that someone purchased if someone decided to sign up for this through me.
Yep.
Which is great. And it's like they are a higher income affiliate, which is also great, because that's what they preach through these courses, that you want to have those high like income skills and high income affiliates, because the 20, 30, 10% affiliates kind of get you nowhere. You want them to be like
Yeah.
30, 40, 35, 40, 45% of whatever your people are purchasing from you. And then the course that I have gone through, Revenue Revolution, or have not gone through, there's like 200 there's like,
Sorry.
that's okay. Excuse me. There are like 200 modules just within that course, Revenue Revolution. Like I haven't even looked at that, because I'm trying to get
Yeah.
everything set first. But the route that I went sets me up to have 3 streams of income if I do it all correctly. And so
Mm-hmm.
my battle is that I just haven't had the time to sit down and like actually get everything into place. But I'm working on it. And if you're curious about what those places are, like I said, once my page is up, my landing page is up, the thing that we keep referring to, which will basically just be like a click here. You can see it all, you can open it all, whatever. It'll just be like a website with different places you can kind of look around. Captivation Hub is the hosting system that I'm using. So if you're curious about that, you can look that stuff up. You can look that up, and then will be available once it's actually once everything's loaded and on.
Yeah. I think the other huge benefit, though, of doing the work yourself or getting a mentor who has done the work themselves and like really taken the time to take themselves through courses is just like you're kind of doing today, or our goal with this podcast is they will know more of like the little details that make a big difference versus I feel like someone that either was handed a product and they just kind of became the face of it, or someone that just kind of did the simplest way to get to their end goal. They're not going to know all those like little dirty details of this is tedious, but it's necessary, or do this because it's going to, it's going to compile, and down the road, you're going to see so much benefit from doing all these little tasks and like learning from those kind of people. I know you've mentioned your mentor that you had early on, how impactful she was to you, and like teaming up with those people that have walked in your shoes or have walked in the place you're about to walk through, and how beneficial that is. Because you don't want to go to a doctor who had someone cheat on their tests for them. You want to go to the doctor that like studied the book hard and has done a lot of work behind the scenes to learn what they're doing. It's just the same thing in a different industry.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you for sharing. I did have a question.
Yeah.
So that cost that you're paying for your system, and then I know there's like added costs like for the domains, or for sometimes not always, but sometimes you have to pay for like a payment service like Stripe or whatever. That's probably not a good example, but sometimes you have to pay them like allocation fees and stuff like that. Is all that bundled into your system payment, or are you having to kind of individually pay for each service that you set up?
So my domain, I paid like a yearly. It's like $20 for the year or something. And then I think it just automatically comes out. If not, then who knows? I guess we'll get to that when it comes. But yeah, so the domain I paid for separately. But other than that, like my Stripe and PayPal, I didn't see anything that I have to like pay for. That just connected. And then yeah, like I said, this hosting site based off of, I would honestly suggest someone, if you are following along and you're a little bit confused, I would follow Fran, Make Money with Fran on Instagram, because that's who I have kind of like found my inspiration through. Because she does just a really good job of like having lives where you can ask Q&As like this, and everything that I've seen her talk about, she has said that Captivation Hub has replaced all of the things for her. Like she was in separate sites for lots of different things, and when she found Captivation Hub and partnered with them, this has changed the game for her. Digital marketing, digital products, digital affiliates, all that stuff, which is why I feel like I've connected with her a little bit and like how she is doing things, because one, she's just been really honest, like upfront, and I appreciate that. But she's made it very clear that Captivation Hub has replaced basically everything. I never hear her say like, I still have to do this, but like, she's like, I do everything in Captivation Hub. And I'm like, cool, that's what I want to do. I want to do it in one spot. So
yeah, the reason I ask is because I know it's not always fun to talk about money, but like sometimes I feel like someone can see a dollar sign and that's just like what tells them yes or no. But the reason I asked was because sometimes I feel like people find themselves in a trap of paying for like a low value host or a low value website, thinking that's going to save them money. And then they don't realize they're having to pay all these little additives elsewhere to make it functional. And again, I'm probably not using a good example because I've never really researched it a ton, but like, for example, I see ads all the time for Squarespace, how it's such a simple website and it's so easy and it'll get you up and going super fast. And it's a low value website in the grand scheme of things. But sometimes you don't realize then you have to pay to be able to use their checkout system, or to pay to be able to do, extra little stuff that is necessary. Whereas something like Collaboration Studios, or if you've heard of the website Kajabi, which is another huge one, they are a more expensive option, but they've done the back end work of like combining all the systems together for you. So that's why you're paying a higher value. So it's just worth doing the research for you. What would make more sense for you as a person if you want to pay something a little bit higher and take some IT work out of it and just like have it in one spot? Or if you like maybe, kind of pinching the pennies here and there and like picking and choosing what systems you want to use. But thank you for answering, because that's just what I wanted to bring up is sometimes more expensive definitely means it's more organized than the cheaper options.
Yeah, and I definitely have heard that site be mentioned too, and I'm pretty sure because I think they do something similar to Captivation Hub where there's lots of things you can do on it. But the additional things are more on that site. So like if you're trying to add, I want mine to be able to do this, then you have to pay extra for that specific thing, which with Captivation Hub, with the course I bought, Revenue Revolution, and with the Online Profit Secrets, if any of this stuff gets updated, because I'm a member, I just automatically get those updates. I'm not paying any extra for any of that.
Which is fantastic.
And that's another reason why I just really agreed with this program and like going this route, because I don't have tons of money to just pour into something I don't know anything about. And like, I'm doing my best with what I have been able to invest in it, because it's not like it's not been cheap. But I feel like it's working for me right now. As much as I don't get to put a lot of effort into it, it's working, and I'm still learning, and we hope that if you're encouraged to do something like this, you just go for it, because what else are you doing? 20 other things.
And I did want to mention, too, if you are a listener of ours and you have a small business of your own, whether it's in person, digital, whatever, we would love for you to leave it in the comments of, our Spotify post, our YouTube video, whatever it may be, because we would love to shout out and celebrate your guys' work as well, because it's all about just word of mouth and it's all about communicating it. And we'd love to celebrate if you are a listener of ours. So let us know what businesses you have put together or what businesses you are hoping to put together so we can support you in that journey as well. We'd love to hear about it.
I would love that. I do feel like there's a few people that like I follow that I would love to even like ask questions about, people that have been doing this for a couple years now and like really looking into it more and like getting, or if they just have chosen a different route from me. Like I would love to hear like why they are doing what they're doing, So if you are interested in talking about your small business and kind of where you're at, like please reach out to us, because we're not like we're not a super crazy podcast. You can send you a link and you can hop on and it'll be a great conversation. So if you are interested
we'd love
in that,
to just put your business on a little pedestal for an episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that. So yay, look at us recorded in this fine afternoon. I love you so much.
Love you. I hope you have a great day.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Sorta Ambitious. Thanks for joining us on this roller coaster of momhood and entrepreneurship.
Remember, life gets hectic, and we can't promise to drop an episode every week, but we will certainly try our best. Your understanding means the world to us.
If you want more behind-the-scenes action, connect with us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, where we're sharing laughs, struggles, and the occasional dance party, because why not?
And if you enjoyed our chat today, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We've got some incredible guests and topics lined up for this year, and we won't want you to miss out.
Your support keeps us going, so make sure to spread the love. Share this podcast with your fellow mompreneurs, friends, or anyone who could use a good dose of ambition and reality.
Until next time, stay sorta ambitious, and remember, you're doing an amazing job.